the 23rd of March 2021. I'll be honest, I had booted down. I was getting ready to go to sleep, and lo and behold, Mama Nature was like, no, you're not. So let's quickly review what we have going on. We have a new tornado warning until 1:30 a.m., a relatively short fuse tornado warning. This is going to be for portions of southwestern Hays, northern Guadalupe, and northeastern Comal counties until 1:30 this morning. Now, I'm going to make sure we have all our cities displaying. My apologies. Literally, I'm just getting everything booted back up here in a hurry. That's what I get. Alright. Let me go ahead and situationally set this up. The city's going to freeze. The radar is going to freeze. Okay. Real quick, this tornado warning does include the city of San Marcos. If you're in San Marcos, you need to move to a safe place immediately. Canyon Lake, north of... close enough. Canyon Lake, San Marcos, safe place now. It's going to be lowest floor, center room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Put on a helmet. Put on hard-soled shoes. Alright, let me go ahead and get everything. This is very near Canyon Lake right now. Moving towards Hunter and San Marcos. In addition to the potential of a tornado, this thunderstorm is capable of producing hail larger than the size of golf balls. So, again, a tornado warning near Canyon Lake right now, approaching San Marcos and Hunter on Interstate 35. This is going to be south of Austin, south of Kyle, north of New Braunfels, scary lightning strike, north of San Antonio and Bexar County. It's going to be for a storm capable of producing a tornado. Again, it is 1:14 in the morning. If you were rudely awakened like me, I'm sorry, but Mama Nature doesn't care what time it is, and Mama Nature doesn't care what lines we draw in maps, so here we go. Switch from the how hard it's raining mode to the which way the wind is blowing mode, and yeah, you can definitely see we have a circulation here. Reds are going to be moving away from the radar. Greens are going to be moving towards the radar. Should be getting a radar update in a minute, but again, this is very near Canyon Lake right now, and if there is a tornado, it's rain wrapped. We're not going to see it in real time in terms of visually seeing it. We're going to know about it afterwards because there's going to be damage, just like with the storm farther north, west of Georgetown a couple hours ago. So again, in addition to this thunderstorm potentially producing a tornado, this thunderstorm is capable of producing hail larger than the size of golf balls. As we switch back over to the how hard it's raining mode, you can see we have a very potent hail core with this thunderstorm. It doesn't matter if it's 1 in the morning, this thing's going to produce some big time hail. Radar indicates the potential for hail larger than the golf balls. This storm is moving towards the city of San Marcos. If you are in San Marcos, if you are on Interstate 35 between Kyle and New Braunfels, get off the highway, get into a gas station, get into a hotel, get into a site-built sturdy structure where you can take shelter. Do not be on Interstate 35 between Kyle and New Braunfels as this dangerous thunderstorm approaches. Not only is it capable of producing a tornado, it is capable of producing straight-line winds well over 70 miles an hour and capable of producing golf ball to tennis ball size hail, all of which are really not great if you're on the road and in a vehicle. So again, we probably did have a tornado very near Canyon Lake about 5 to 10 minutes ago. That's when the initial tornado warning was issued. The circulation is a bit weaker for now, but we still see strong signs of rotation aloft and a clear, well-defined hook echo on reflectivity. I'll show you the velocity in just a minute, but again, I want to stress, in addition to me potentially getting struck by lightning here in my office in a minute, we have a thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado very near Canyon Lake. That is where you see all these roads near the hail core. Storm is moving east at about 40 miles per hour. The potential for golf ball to tennis ball size hail, winds of 60 to 75 miles an hour, and a tornado. If there's a tornado, it is likely wrapped in rain. We're not going to know about it until we hear damage reports after the fact. At 1:15 a.m., the National Weather Service indicates the potential tornado near downtown Canyon Lake, right along Farm to Market 306. That was 10 seconds ago. Let's switch back over to the which way the wind is blowing mode. We'll probably see a well-defined couplet, and we do. It's going to be a circulation very near downtown Canyon Lake. Quotation marks, because there's not really such a thing as downtown. But again, the potential for winds well over 60 miles an hour, in addition to a tornado, golf ball to tennis ball size hail. This is a dangerous thunderstorm moving towards the city of San Marcos and Hunter on Interstate 35. We advise no travel on Interstate 35 for the next 30 minutes at least between Kyle and New Braunfels. We have severe thunderstorms capable of producing, quarter-size hail, winds of 60 from just northeast of Hondo to southeast of Bernie. It's going to be moving across Bexar County over the next 1 hour. Seeing the potential for some debris being lofted with this thunderstorm now. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch back into focusing on this tornado warning. Again, whatever's there, it is wrapped in rain. You will not visually see it. It's going to switch back over to the velocity couplet. Might see some debris. Now, you see this little green-blue splotch right there. I know it's not a well-defined big blue donut like we like to typically look for, but it is in proximity of the circulation. So it is entirely possible, based on this, we do have a tornado down right now in Canyon Lake. Take this seriously. Whatever is there is wrapped in rain. You will not visually see it. Don't bother going out and looking for it. It is wrapped in rain and wrapped in hail. So again, we may have a tornado down right now in Canyon Lake, moving towards Hunter, moving towards the southwest side of San Marcos. Absolutely no one should be traveling on Interstate 35 right now between New Braunfels and Kyle. If you know any commercial vehicle drivers who are out working the night shift, make sure they know not to get in the path of this storm that could easily have a tornado down right now on the east side of Canyon Lake. Potential for golf ball size hail with this as well. So again, probably just had a brief tornado very near Canyon Lake. Circulation is now moving east of Canyon Lake. Down 306, approaching Farm to Market 2673. It's going to eventually be making its way towards Hunter and the southwest side of San Marcos. San Marcos proper. This circulation may stay just to your southwest, but if it does, you're going to get hailed on. So again, if you are in Hunter, if you're in Canyon Lake, if you're in San Marcos, you be in shelter. That's lowest floor, center room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. We don't want anyone on Interstate 35 between New Braunfels on the south side up to Kyle on the north side, as this dangerous thunderstorm moves from west to east at 40 miles per hour. Now, looking at the latest velocity scan, otherwise known as which way the wind is blowing, the velocity couplet isn't as defined as it was 5 minutes ago. That's good, but this thing could put down another brief tornado without giving any sort of warning. So, very nasty hail core showing up there just southwest of San Marcos now. We note a hail core with a thunderstorm moving into Bexar County. This could bring hail and damaging winds in addition to heavy rain. It's late. Across much of Bexar County, aka the entirety of the San Antonio Metro. As you might be able to hear, I've got my own thunderstorm visiting me in my office, so if I suddenly disappear, I probably got struck by lightning, and my bald spot will probably now be the flaming bald spot of doom. So again, that wasn't a challenge, Mother Nature. Please don't actually make my bald spot the flaming bald spot of doom. Thank you. It's going to be a severe thunderstorm with the potential of producing a tornado east of Canyon Lake now by a couple miles, approaching Hunter and San Marcos on Interstate 35. We probably had a brief tornado about 5 minutes ago very near Canyon Lake based on a little baby tornado debris signature that emerged on our debris tracker. The meteorological term is correlation coefficient. The radar is able to differentiate between hydrometeors and other types of objects. For example, in this case, the radar puts all the data it's collected in the single scan into a bin. It analyzes that data. If there's something that isn't similar in size to other parameters in that area, it'll highlight that in a product called correlation coefficient. In this case, hailstones and raindrops look much different than pieces of trees or structural debris, stuff like that, which the radar is able to highlight. So in this case, the radar gave off a relatively small minor signature comparative to, say, much more obvious signatures about 5 minutes ago that we may have had a brief tornado near Canyon Lake. Again, whatever is there is completely wrapped in rain and hail. Literally shrouded within miles of rain and hail. We're not going to see it visually. The only way we're going to know about it in near real time is if it lofts debris and we see a signature on radar. But far more likely is we're going to hear about damage in about 30 to 60 minutes, just like we did with the supercell that tracked near Georgetown a couple hours ago. So again, the potential of a tornado now approaching Hunter and the southwest side of San Marcos on Interstate 35. Potential for golf ball size hail, winds of 60 to 70. Now I will say this, as we switch back over to the velocity data, we are not seeing much of a rotational signature near the surface anymore. That's good. Hopefully this was a one-and-done storm. We may have had a brief tornado near Canyon Lake. Hopefully that's the end of it. Damaging wind and hail threat continues with this storm as it approaches San Marcos. San Marcos, Hunter, you're about to have issues with hail. Unfortunately, the same thing goes for much of Bexar County. We are seeing a thunderstorm capable of producing potentially ping-pong ball-size hail just north of Castroville, moving southeast, east-southeast, at about 35 to 40 miles an hour. Going to be very near Highway 90 and FM 1604 in about 20 minutes, moving into San Antonio proper in the next 25 to 30 minutes. Could bring hail and localized damaging winds in addition to heavy rain and lightning to downtown San Antonio in about 35 minutes. So again, if you're in Bexar County around San Antonio, it's about to get loud. It's about to get wet. There's going to be a lot of heavy rain, some hail, some damaging winds. Can't rule out a brief tornado, but for now, we are no longer seeing strong indications of a surface-based circulation. Let me go ahead and see if we can pull a loop over the last 30 minutes, and I'll see if we can pull up what the circulation looked like. Yeah, you can see this. As the circulation was near Canyon Lake, it became very obvious here. We're going to go back. Here's radar data at 1:06 a.m. just west of Canyon Lake. You can see a very well-defined circulation. You had winds over 75 miles an hour towards the radar, about 15 away. That's 90 mile an hour gate-to-gate circulation. Little hook echo right there. If we were to look at correlation coefficient, we might see debris. Again, that would have been on the east side of Canyon Lake. So, 20 minutes later, as the radar turns off because I upset it and hurt its feelings, and, well, same, we no longer see, at least, strong indications of a tornado. So hopefully that means the Weather Service will let the tornado warning expire. This storm is still quite severe and capable of producing quarter to golf ball size hail, winds of 60 to 70 miles per hour. Assuming they let the tornado warning expire, it'll be gone in 5 minutes. It's still quite loud across south central Texas this morning, from San Marcos to the west side of Bexar County, at least in the next 5 minutes, to Hollywood Park, to west of Leon Valley, to near Castroville. Severe thunderstorms capable of producing quarter to golf ball size hail, winds of 55 to 65 miles an hour, and as another storm this morning has yet proven, the potential for a few brief tornadoes is not zero. So we'll keep an eye on it, and we'll be back if necessary. Actually, you know what? While we're here, let's do this. Let's take a look at the storms in East Texas. We do have severe thunderstorm warnings across much of East Texas this morning. Now, this is a far different convective situation than farther southwest, where we have embedded supercells. This is much messier, much rainier. This is what you expect in relatively high shear, low instability. But as we switch over to the how hard the wind is blowing mode, you can see the radar's picking up areas of 60 mile an hour winds, capable of knocking down trees, capable of causing some power line damage. East Texas, not exactly known for a lack of trees, so we may see some roads blocked by downed trees this morning. Be careful, those are very difficult to see at night, especially if you're going highway speed. Have a strong to severe thunderstorm crossing over Interstate 45 between Madisonville and Huntsville. Let me switch. Kind of in a radar hole, and I don't have the A&M radar hooked up on this software, but the potential for quarter-size hail, I assume, and winds of 55 to 60 miles an hour over Interstate 45 on the southeast side of Madisonville. Storm's going to be moving east-northeast at, 40 to 45 miles an hour towards Lovelady and Trinity on Highway 19. So it looks like the storm's capable of producing quarter to ping pong ball size hail, would be approaching Highway 19 near Trinity in the next 30 minutes, crossing Interstate 45 now between Madisonville and Huntsville. The potential for a few severe storms will continue for the next few hours across south central Texas, the Brazos Valley, and southeast Texas. And we're going to be keeping an eye out as well for any storms that may try to go tornado warned again. Hopefully this is the last one tonight, but regardless, some folks across San Antonio, Bexar County, all the way up to San Marcos are going to be getting loud and unpleasant wake-up calls over the next 30 to 60 minutes. So stay weather aware. Be sure you're following the National Weather Service offices in San Antonio and Houston and Shreveport, for the latest severe weather information. They have very good Twitter accounts, and they also have a good website. You can keep up to date with the weather warnings in addition to your preferred local media outlets. We'll be back. Well, let's say this. Hopefully we're not back, because if we are, something bad's happened. Otherwise, we'll keep an eye on it overnight. But hopefully we can at least be done with the tornado issues for the night, hopefully. I was about to go to bed, so. That being said, you can keep up with the storms with our interactive weather radar on our website, texasstormchasers.com/radar, or in our free mobile app, in addition to all those aforementioned sources of weather information I talked about a minute ago. So I'm David Reimer with the Texas Storm Chasers. Tornado warning will expire now for the San Marcos area, so we're down to severe thunderstorm warning. So hopefully we're not back. If we are, it is what it is. Y'all have a great rest of your night. Stay weather aware. And remember, this is spring in Texas. Storms happen. This won't be the last one we deal with this spring. We'll be lucky if we get through the rest of the